Have you ever noticed how a single, grumpy thought in the morning can stain your entire day? Like a rogue drop of ink spreading across pristine paper, that initial negativity seems to bleed into every interaction, every task, every moment. The alarm screams, the coffee spills, you're already running late, and suddenly, the world feels like it's conspiring against you. This isn't just a string of unfortunate events. It's often the culmination of a morning mindset that sets us up for struggle rather than success. We've all been there, caught in the whirlwind of rushed routines and mounting pressure, feeling as though we're perpetually chasing our tails before the day even truly begins. The truth is, those chaotic mornings aren't simply unavoidable byproducts of modern life. They're often self-inflicted wounds we unknowingly perpetuate through habits and thought patterns that prioritize speed and efficiency over well-being and intention. We hit snooze one too many times, sacrificing precious moments of peace for fleeting seconds of sleep. We scroll through social media, immediately immersing ourselves in a sea of comparisons and anxieties. We skip breakfast, fueling our bodies with caffeine and stress instead of nourishment and calm. These seemingly insignificant choices compound, creating a foundation of unease that undermines our ability to navigate the day with clarity and resilience. But what if it didn't have to be this way? What if, instead of bracing ourselves for the onslaught of the day, we could greet each morning with a sense of anticipation and purpose? What if we could transform our mornings from a source of stress into a sanctuary of self-care, a launching pad for productivity and joy? The possibility exists, but it requires a conscious shift in perspective, a willingness to challenge our ingrained habits, and a commitment to cultivating a more positive and intentional morning mindset. This isn't about becoming a morning person overnight, or adhering to some rigid, unattainable ideal of productivity. It's about recognizing the profound impact that our mornings have on our overall well-being, and taking small, deliberate steps to reclaim control of our time and energy. It's about understanding that how we choose to begin our day sets the tone for everything that follows, and that by investing in our morning mindset, we're investing in our long-term happiness and success. We're not just talking about productivity hacks or time management strategies here. This is about something deeper. A fundamental shift in how we relate to ourselves and the world around us. It's about cultivating a sense of inner peace and resilience that allows us to navigate the inevitable challenges of life with greater ease and grace. It's about recognizing the power we have to shape our own experiences, starting with the very first moments of each new day. The journey may not always be easy, but the rewards are immeasurable. It's a journey worth taking, one mindful morning at a time. To more fully understand why a positive morning is so potent, let's delve into the neurological dance occurring as we awaken. Our brains, freshly emerged from slumber, are incredibly malleable. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making and emotional regulation, is essentially rebooting. This creates a window of opportunity, a brief period where we can consciously influence the neural pathways that will dominate our day. Think of it as tilling fertile soil. The seeds of intention planted in those early hours have a far greater chance of taking root than those scattered later, when the ground is already hardened by external stimuli. Conversely, a jarring awakening, the blare of an alarm, a flood of emails, the immediate pressure of pending tasks, triggers a cascade of stress hormones. Cortisol surges, adrenaline spikes, and our bodies enter a state of fight or flight, even before we've had a chance to fully register the day. This reactive state not only compromises our cognitive function, making us more prone to errors and impulsivity, but also erodes our emotional resilience, leaving us vulnerable to anxiety, irritability, and even depression. To illustrate, picture a garden overwhelmed by weeds. The delicate flowers of joy and creativity struggle to thrive amidst the choking overgrowth of stress. A key element often overlooked is the power of the circadian rhythm. This internal clock, synchronized with the rising and setting of the sun, governs countless physiological processes, including hormone production, body temperature, and sleep-wake cycles. Disrupting this natural rhythm, through inconsistent sleep patterns or exposure to artificial light late at night, throws our entire system out of whack. Consequently, we wake feeling groggy, disoriented, and less equipped to handle the demands of the day. Now, consider how this applies when you face a challenging project at work. If your circadian rhythm is misaligned, your ability to focus, problem solve, and collaborate effectively will be significantly impaired. Another crucial layer is the role of mindfulness in shaping our morning experience. Our minds, left to their own devices, tend to gravitate toward worry and rumination. We replay past mistakes, anticipate future anxieties, and generally get caught in a loop of negative self-talk. By incorporating mindful practices, such as meditation or gentle stretching, into our morning routine, we can interrupt this cycle of negativity and cultivate a sense of presence and calm. Imagine a turbulent river. Mindfulness allows us to step onto the bank and observe the flow of our thoughts without being swept away by them. The physiological mechanisms at play are compelling. Deep breathing exercises, for example, activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural relaxation response. This counteracts the effects of stress hormones, lowering heart rate, reducing blood pressure, and promoting a sense of inner peace. Likewise, gratitude journaling, a practice of consciously acknowledging the good things in our lives, stimulates the release of dopamine and serotonin, neurotransmitters associated with pleasure and well-being. Thus, a morning routine infused with mindfulness isn't just a feel-good exercise. It's a powerful tool for optimizing our brain chemistry and enhancing our overall mental health. Reflecting on this journey so far, a distinct pattern emerges, a recognition that our mornings are not merely a prelude to the day, but rather a microcosm of our lives. They represent a concentrated opportunity to shape our experiences, to cultivate resilience, and to choose a path aligned with our values. It's akin to setting the sails on a ship. The course we chart in those early hours will profoundly influence our destination, regardless of the winds and currents we encounter along the way. The insights we've gathered point towards a fundamental truth, that our well-being is not a passive state, but an active creation. It's not something that happens to us, but rather something we cultivate through conscious choices and intentional practices. The power to transform our mornings, and by extension, our lives, lies within our grasp. It's a matter of recognizing the potential that resides within those quiet moments of dawn and harnessing it with wisdom and compassion. Drawing these threads together, we see a tapestry woven with intention, awareness, and self-compassion. Each thread represents a conscious choice, a deliberate act of self-care, a moment of mindful presence. And together, they form a vibrant and resilient fabric that can withstand the inevitable stresses and challenges of daily life. It's a reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness towards ourselves can have a profound ripple effect, transforming not only our mornings, but also our relationships, our work, and our overall sense of well-being. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer. It's a path that invites us to embrace imperfection, to celebrate small victories, and to approach each new day with a sense of curiosity and wonder. It's a path that encourages us to prioritize self-care, to cultivate mindfulness, and to create a morning routine that nourishes our minds, bodies, and spirits. It's a journey of self-discovery, a process of continuous growth, and a celebration of the human potential to thrive. As we pivot towards the final reflection, consider the cumulative effect of these small changes. They are like drops of water that, over time, can carve canyons into stone. Each mindful moment, each act of gratitude, each conscious choice contributes to a gradual but profound transformation. It's a process that requires patience, persistence, and an unwavering belief in our ability to create a more joyful and fulfilling life. The dawn of each day presents us with a fresh canvas, an opportunity to paint a masterpiece of well-being. The choice is ours to make. The essence of what we've explored isn't simply about optimizing a morning routine. It's about reclaiming agency over our lives, one sunrise at a time. It's about recognizing that the frantic pace, the anxieties, the sense of being perpetually overwhelmed, these are not immutable forces, but rather patterns we can consciously reshape. The key insight is that the quality of our internal landscape profoundly influences our external world, and that by tending to the former, we gain the power to navigate the latter with greater grace and resilience. It isn't about achieving some unattainable ideal of perfect mornings, but rather about cultivating a deeper sense of self-awareness and self-compassion, allowing us to respond to life's challenges with intention rather than reaction. Consider the implications. If a positive morning mindset can ripple outwards, transforming our interactions, our productivity, and our overall well-being, then what other areas of our lives might be similarly amenable to conscious cultivation? What other ingrained patterns might be holding us back from realizing our full potential? The journey of self-discovery is a continuous one, a process of peeling back layers of conditioning and uncovering the inherent wisdom and strength that resides within. And it often begins with these small, intentional acts of self-care, these mindful moments of presence, these conscious choices to prioritize our well-being. Perhaps the most profound takeaway is the realization that we are not merely passive recipients of our experiences, but rather active co-creators. We have the power to shape our realities, to cultivate joy and resilience, to transform our lives from the inside out. And it all starts with a single conscious breath, a moment of gratitude, a deliberate act of self-kindness. These seemingly insignificant choices, repeated consistently over time, can create a seismic shift in our overall well-being. It's a reminder that even in the midst of chaos and uncertainty, we can always find a sanctuary of peace within ourselves. The true practice begins now, not as a rigid set of rules or a relentless pursuit of perfection, but as a gentle invitation to cultivate a more mindful and compassionate relationship with ourselves. It's an ongoing exploration, a continuous journey of self-discovery, a celebration of the human potential to thrive. Embrace the dawn not as a burden, but as an opportunity, a fresh canvas upon which to paint a masterpiece of well-being. Allow the sunlight to illuminate your path, and let the quiet moments of morning guide you towards a life filled with purpose, joy, and profound connection.